Thank Jamie Lee Curtis, just before filming of the cult classic movie Halloween, she made her mark in the original Halloween film back in 1978, facing off against the indomitable Michael Myers. Curtis' role in this iconic movie solidified her reputation as one of the premier scream queens of cinema. Andre the Giant socializing with friends in the 1980s. Standing at an impressive 7 feet 4 inches tall and weighing 520 pounds, his enormous stature was due to gigantism from an overproduction of growth hormone. This remarkable size earned him the nickname the Eighth Wonder of the World. Legend has it that Andre the Giant set a world record for beer consumption in one sitting, reportedly drinking 119 bottles over 6 hours. One can only wonder how many bathroom breaks such a feat required. Christie Brinkley rocking the 1980s style. She is an iconic supermodel from the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues. Her debut in the special edition came in the late 70s, and she graced 3 consecutive covers beginning in 1979. Over her career, Brinkley appeared on more than 500 magazine covers, establishing herself as one of the most recognizable faces of her era. Ivanka Trump with her dad, Donald, in the back of a limo. Fun fact, Ivanka Trump attended the same exclusive all-girls school in Manhattan that Jacqueline Kennedy once attended. Ivanka has been quoted comparing her boarding schools to prisons, often envying her friends who were out partying while she was studying. However, her hard work paid off. Ivanka has become an extremely successful businesswoman, fashion designer, television personality, and author. The crew of the Challenger, right before boarding on January 28, 1986, known as one of the most tragic space launch disasters in history, when the Space Shuttle Challenger disintegrated just 73 seconds into its flight, killing all 7 crew members on board. The crew included Krista McAuliffe, a teacher and civilian participant in the Teacher in Space program. As a result, schoolchildren across the country were watching the live broadcast of the launch. The original Charlie's Angels were women from Charles Manson's cult. In the late 60s, they engaged in psychedelics and orgies while following Manson, a self-styled Christ figure. Tragically, they were also responsible for the 1969 Sharon Tate murders. Despite their affluent backgrounds, they were drawn into Manson's dark world. An interesting photo of David Bowie, 1975. This shot of Bowie was taken by photographer Steve Scapiro, which was during a 12-hour straight photo session. An image from this photo session was later used on the back cover of Bowie's album, Station to Station. This shot of Sharon Tate and Jay Sebring was taken by photographer Wojtek Frykowski on August 1969, the day before they were murdered by the Manson family. Here's Marilyn Monroe in a pink outfit at home in 1952. Known for her beauty, Monroe had an IQ of 168, higher than Einstein's. Off camera, she enjoyed reading and classical music. Born Norma Jean Mortensen, she began modeling with brown hair and had some cosmetic surgery. For 12 years, after her 1962 death, people brought flowers to her grave. She was buried in her favorite green putsy dress. Susan Sarandon sports a shirt on a ledge. Sarandon was born in Queens, the daughter of an advertising executive. Her big break came in 1969 when she accompanied her then-husband, Chris Sarandon, to a casting call for the movie Joe. He didn't get the part, but she was cast as one of the leads opposite Peter Boyle, and thus began Susan Sarandon's storied career. Muhammad Ali visits Bob Dylan backstage during the night of the Hurricane benefit concert, December 8, 1975. Michael J. Fox on the set of Back to the Future 2 in 1989. Ric Flair picking up some cores at the store during the 1970s. A WWE legend, Flair claims to have slept with over 10,000 women and drank 10 beers and 5 cocktails daily for over 20 years. Married 4 times, he struggled to separate his persona from reality. In recent years, kidney failure from excessive drinking nearly killed him. That's one thing you can't woo about. Cheryl Tiegs in the 1983 Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Tiegs is regarded as America's first supermodel. Before her, models weren't considered super. She earned this title after her iconic 1979 swimsuit poster, where she wore a pink bikini. This poster adorned the walls of many boys in the 70s. Brigitte Bardot striking a new wave pose. Brigitte Bardot, a French new wave icon in the 1950s and 60s, starred in 47 films, performed in numerous musicals, and recorded over 60 songs. She retired in 1973 at 39. In 1985, she refused the Legion of Honor Award. Bardot then became an animal rights activist, founding her own welfare foundation in 1986. Jimi Hendrix enjoying himself on the stage, 1968. No one played guitar like Jimi Hendrix. Before becoming a legend, Hendrix chose the army over prison at 19 after being caught in stolen cars. He enlisted on May 31, 1961, joining the 101st Airborne Division. In 1967, his band opened for the Monkees, but their young fans couldn't handle Hendrix, leading him to leave the tour after 6 shows. Bill Gates riding his groovy bike in the 70s. Little did his parents know at the time, he would become the world's richest man. Kelly Lee Brock in the movie With Science in 1985. Kathy Ireland up to bat in a Sports Illustrated photo, 1987. Kathy appeared in 13 consecutive Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues. In 1993, she founded Kathy Ireland Worldwide, a brand that made her one of the wealthiest former models. By 2012, her products grossed $2 billion, and her personal wealth hit $420 million by 2015. Ireland was honored with the greatest Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover of all time in 1989. Pam Grier rocking the one-piece jumpsuit in 1974. George Harrison takes a selfie in front of the Taj Mahal, India in 1966. George Harrison's love for Indian culture and music shaped the Beatles' sound. Introduced to Indian music during Help in 1965, he collaborated with Ravi Shankar and mastered the sitar, influencing the band's compositions profoundly. His iconic selfie at the Taj Mahal preceded the term itself. Frank Sinatra stepping out of a helicopter with a drink in his hand in the 1960s. Frank was notorious for his love of booze and his relationships with women. In the 50s and 60s, as the chairman of the board and leader of the Rat Pack, he ruled Las Vegas. Sinatra was rumored to have indulged in extravagant behavior, including paying prostitutes to serve him breakfast. He also had connections with the mob, inspiring the wedding singer character in The Godfather. And Margaret, once dubbed the female Elvis, transitioned to become a celebrated Hollywood star with a more esteemed film career than Elvis. The Brady ladies at a charity baseball game at Dodger Stadium in 1973. Sonny and Cher enjoying the sun in their swimsuits. Sonny and Cher married in 1964 and had a daughter, Chastity, now known as Chaz. Cher began as a session singer, backing tracks like Be My Baby by the Ronettes. In the 1970s, they starred in TV shows like The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. Their partnership ended with their 1975 divorce, marking the close of their joint career. Welsh beauty Catherine Zeta-Jones in the 1980s. Catherine, raised in Swansea, Wales, started acting as a child in West End productions. Her father, a candy factory owner named David Jones, saw their fortunes change when they won £100,000 in a bingo competition. This enabled 4-year-old Zeta-Jones to attend the Hazel Johnson School of Dance, suited to her hyperactive nature. Adam West before his Batman era, early 60s. Before his iconic role as Batman in 1966, Adam West served as a US Army announcer on American Forces Network television. Afterward, he moved to Hawaii, where he appeared as a sidekick on the Keene Po show with a chimp named Peaches. West then starred in westerns and crime shows, including the 1965 film The Three Stooges in The Outlaws Is Coming. Comedy team Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis in 1950. Daryl Hannah starring as the beautiful mermaid Madison in the 1984 film Splash. A young Dolly Parton in the studio recording a new song, 1966. Jane Seymour kicking it back in 1973. Jenny Agutter and Michael York in a scene from Logan's Run, 1976. Joan Collins looking stunning back in 1956. Collins is probably best known for her role of Alexis Carrington on the 80s TV soap opera Dynasty. Margaret Nolan guest starring on The Saint TV series, 1963. Playboy bunny stewardess, 1972. Hugh Hefner's private jet, the Big Bunny, was a flying Playboy mansion in the late 60s and early 70s. Celebs like Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and James Caan frequented the DC-9. The $5 million jet featured a plush interior with leather sofas, a discotheque, and an oval bed adorned with silk sheets and a Tasmanian opossum fur bedspread. Stewardesses in black leatherette miniskirts and knee-high boots served lobster and roast beef on board. These three rock icons of the 70s were not just hot women of rock, they were musical pioneers. Debbie Harry led Blondie, Suzi Quatro was an early punk trailblazer, and Joan Jett, from the Runaways, became a solo sensation. This 1977 LA photo, likely from Blondie's first tour, was captured by Chris Stein, one of Blondie's founders. His photos of Harry helped cement her as an international icon. This is the cover of Linda Ronstadt's 1976 album, Hasten Down the Wind. This became Ronstadt's third straight million-selling album, making her the first female artist in history to accomplish this feat. And finally, we have Catherine Batch giving her best Daisy Duke look during the 1980s. And that'll do it for today's video. If you've made it this far, thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.